Hi everybody and welcome to the Bear House. It's September 2013 and that means just one thing. It's the launch of the Part 2 collection of the Isabelles, the Minimos and the brand new Minimo keyrings, which are absolutely just delicious. We're going to do 3 videos for you, 2 on the Isabelle collection and 1 on the Minimo and the keyrings. So let's start. I know that you've been waiting for this and I do apologise, it's been a while. So here we go. We start with the wonderful Hedgerow. One of my favourite characters from the whole collection. This is Hedgerow. He is 15 inches tall, made from 95% mohair, 3% alpaca and 2% wool. And he's just absolutely fantastic. Limited to only 450 pieces and he's just so detailed it's untrue. We've got different pieces of mohair over the ears, little touches of alpaca on the ends of the ears and alpaca for the face there. Just absolutely superb. So that is our Hedgerow. I'm sure that as we go through here you're going to have some new favourites, so I'll kind of point out mine and then if you don't like them, that's up to you. Okay, next is Brock. Because of the excitement surrounded around Nippinu and Gumboots, we decided that we would launch a range of bears within the Isabelle collection which were very, very special. So Brock is limited to only 500 pieces. He's 51% mohair and 49% alpaca. So it's alpaca on the main part of the face, mohair here on the arms, and then on the end of the arms here this is alpaca, and on the feet alpaca again. I'm just going to give him a little spin round just so you can see Brock in all his glory, but he is just absolutely fantastic. And again, a really, really big character in the collection, just beautiful. Okay, moving on. We have on page 4, we move on to the bear pairings. Now, a lot of people have asked us questions about these bear pairings as to whether we can sell them separately. They will actually only come out with 1 tag, so you will only get 1 limited edition certificate with these bears. But this is bananas and custard. I'm sure you can probably guess which one's which, but this is bananas and this is custard. So bananas is our little cheeky alpaca monkey. It's the first time we've ever done a monkey in the Isabelle collection, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last time because he's absolutely fantastic. And then obviously he's got his mate there who is custard. So, and custard is made from alpaca and mohair, sold as a pair, as a set, so we can't split them up. But if you decide to split them up, that's up to you. Okay, the next little bear pairing that we have is Salt and Pepper. This is Salt and Pepper. Again, question marks over whether it was a bear and a mouse. It's not, it's a bear and a bunny. So we've got Salt and Little Pepper. It might be the other way around. I think it's the other way around. Anyway. Salt and pepper, whichever. They're both delicious. I'll look at my catalogue. Salt, yes, Salt's a little bunny, and he's got the little wide ears, and he stands up, and he's 95% alpaca and 5% mohair, and again, these boys are sold as a pair. Next, oh my word. It's the guys that have been causing all of the attention. It's Prickle, Spike and Ouch. So here we go. I'm going to sit you there. I'm going to sit you there. And I'm going to sit the little fella there. So there we go. So I'm just going to talk you through which one is which. So basically the big boy is Prickle. The medium-sized one is Spike. And the little fella is Ouch. Now, we will be sending these out as much as possible as match set numbers to our stockists, but it is down to the stockists to ensure that you get the match set numbers. Because in certain circumstances, because the limited editions are very slightly different on all the bears, there's not actually enough to make full sets of all of them. But of course, whether you choose to buy them as a full set or whether you just choose to buy the large, the medium or the small, it's entirely up to you guys. But you know, whichever one you go for, they are just absolutely superb. And again, following on from that theme of the wildlife collection, Charlie just loves them, I love them, Everybody in the bear house loves them, and I know that a lot of people have gone completely wild over them on Facebook and all of our stockists. So that is the hedgehogs. Okay, moving on, we go on to one of the big boys. So let me just put these down. I'm just going to give him a little spin round just so you can see the back of him as well. There we go. Let's have a little close up of that face as well, because it's just dish delish. There we go. That's a little ouch. Okay, so now we move on to Mr. Toots. Mr. Toots is up here behind me. Excuse me. Oh, one of the big boys. Limited to only 350 pieces and absolutely superb. He's made of 100% mohair and he's got this wonderful kind of lilacs and deep purple colouring. Just absolutely fantastic. One of Charlie's favourites in the whole collection, but again, she likes the big ones in the mohair, bizarrely enough. So there we go. But because the big statement pieces within anybody's collection, he's not cheap, of course he's not, he's a big old bear, but he's absolutely fantastic, aren't you? Oh yes, he knows it. Now there is one bear which hasn't been able to make it to this video, and I do apologise, it's probably going to be one of the most collectible bears of the whole collection. My personal favourite from the whole collection, that's Miss Havisham. Very, very similar to the kind of long mohair that you saw on Cheesecake and other very, very popular bears. So I do apologise. She's actually making a personal appearance in Australia as we speak, so she couldn't be here tonight, but she sends her love and hopes that you like her. So there we go. Moving on to Wurzel. Wurzel is one of our patchwork bears. So been ever so popular in various bears in the past with these different kind of patches of various different mohair material. Limited to only 400. This is all mohair, but all of these are individual pieces of mohair. So I don't know how many pieces there are in this, but normally when we work towards a patchwork bear, it's ranging on up to 50 different pieces of mohair, which is a really difficult technique, but it gives an absolutely beautiful, beautiful finish. So this is Wurzel. Very loosely jointed is Wurzel, but got these beautiful kind of bells around his neck, beautiful kind of raggy ribbon, and he's got very loose joints, so he kind of just chills out. He's one of those chill out bears. He's a cuddler. So why don't we do that? Why don't we have a cuddle? There we go. There's our little Wurzel. Okay, moving on. Buster, another big bear. This is Buster here. I do apologise if you see any of the bears fall over, by the way, but I unfortunately don't have a runner here, so we can only do it on our own. So we've got Buster, again, another big bear, limited to only 300 pieces, this particular bear. Now bearing in mind that we have well over 300 stockists worldwide for Charlie Bears, this is going to be a particularly difficult bear to find. So limited to only 300 pieces, again, absolutely stunning. Got his scarf around his neck, which is very heavily detailed. He's got like the little bead detail on there, and just absolutely superb. Tickly toes. We all need the tickly toes, and a lovely, lovely face. Okay, moving on. Got another big one for you, and this is going to be Chamberlain. For me, you see, this kind of goes back to the original design of Ross, and for me, this is my kind of bear. He's a big boy. Chamberlain is limited to only 350 pieces. He's 53% alpaca and 47% mohair. So if I just point that out to you, so this here, alpaca, alpaca. I think over the top of his nose is alpaca as well, I'm not quite sure at the minute. Alpaca on his arms and on his legs, and then obviously for his body and the top of his head here is all mohair. But absolutely stunning bear with his big old bell and his raggedy ribbon. He's just going to look great in your collection. He's a bear to look after your other bears, simple as that. But for me, he just goes back to that kind of Ross, that kind of big bear feel. You know, he's a real kind of cuddler. He's the kind of bear where, you know, you want to have a cuddle, he's the guy that's going to give you it. Simple as that. Okay, moving forward onto Ragamuffin, who is down to my left. Again, makes a great brother for Wurzel. I'm just going to grab Wurzel actually and put him side by side. Excuse me. Ragamuffin is limited to only 400 pieces, 100% mohair, and nearly 21 inches in height. But again, you look at those two together, they just look absolutely superb. It's part of the same family essentially. They are made, again, he's made from kind of different pieces of mohair, probably around about 53 to 54 different pieces of mohair, which is probably one of the most difficult techniques that we do here at Charlie Bears. But again, it's something which Charlie will not compromise on. She wants to make this particular bear in these particular colours, and that's the only way we can do it. So again, that's how we do it. So, and again, comes with these beautiful bells around his neck. So that's Ragamuffin. Okay. Moving on. Lovely little traditional bear is Nozzle. Now this is a bear which could easily get quite lost in the collection, but he is such a massive character in his own right. He's just such a little sweetie. Nozzle limited to only 450 pieces, 16 inches in height, and again, when we talk about the height, that's from the bottom of the toes to the top of the head. But this is Nozzle. Just a really very simple design, 100% mohair. Love the little kind of sisal string necklace with a beautiful little kind of discoloured bell on there, and he's just absolutely fantastic. We'll point something out. Look at his nose. Now this is the original sample. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So please don't worry if you get yours back. It's not gone wrong. It's just Nozzle has been a bit too nuzzled. He's been a bit too loved. So there we go. One thing I will point out on all of the bears that you've seen today, these are all original prototypes. So we can tell that when we go to original prototype. If you ever find one of these, by the way, it's worth a lot of money. So essentially that says in the bottom tag, it says original. Whereas in your bottom tags, it will normally say exactly what material we've made the bear out of. So it will say 100% mohair or part alpaca, part mohair. And that's on the newer bears that we brought out. It wasn't in the older Isabelle collection, but we've done that now in the newer bears. So this is an original sample. So what I will say is that when we come to production, there's always sometimes there's some slight changes to the mohair that we use. So just please bear that in mind. But that is basically to make sure that we can get, because this mohair may have been hanging around for a little while, but it's basically so that we can get all of the pieces out of one piece of mohair. Okay. Second to last bear is Snug. One of Bryony Bear's favourites. This is little Snug. Okay, and again, I need to point out to you that on the toesies there, we've actually made them kind of slightly worn. So he's not been moth-eaten or anything like that. We do actually put a double pad on there. So essentially, if you were to take that whole pad off, he does actually have his own pad on under there anyway. So the stuffing's not going to come out or anything like that. Please don't worry about that. But this is little Snug. A hugely, hugely popular character in the whole collection. Absolutely delicious. Okay? And limited to 500. And then last but not least, how could we miss her out? It is the Isabelle Masterpiece for 2013. Now, I'm not sure that everybody knows the story about this. Basically, every year now, from 2011, Charlie and I ask Isabelle to choose her favourite bear from the whole collection, and we call that the Isabelle Masterpiece. It's not that she puts any extra effort into the bear or anything like that, it's just the one that she has physically chosen has been her favourite bear for the whole collection. And this year, it was this one. So this is Isabelle Masterpiece for 2013. We have only made 350 of the Isabelle Masterpiece. So if you were lucky enough to get the 2011 and the 2012, this is now the 2013. So bear in mind there is less in this limit than there were in the other two limits. So it's a very important bear within the whole collection. It's a very special bear to Charlie and myself because it's one that Isabelle personally feels is her favourite. And to Isabelle, of course, it's her favourite bear. So this is the Isabelle Masterpiece 2013. There we go. So that's video number 1. Join me in video number 2, where we'll have a little bit of a rearrange, and I'll show you the next set of bears. See you in a bit.